So, I'm going to start with the, what was this one? The wolfberry. It's got a blueberry taste to it. It's not bad. And the chocolate cake. And my concoction. Didn't layer, right? But it tastes pretty good. Alright. While I'm letting that settle, I'm going to go make sure that's actually recording. Alright, so apparently the first 10 minutes of this recorded. And I am talking about Santa Claus. Well, the funny thing I find about Santa Claus is about the most successful mainstream conspiracy theory ever. It's ridiculous. I mean, think about it. We are trying to get children to be good by telling them somebody's watching them all year. And if they're good, they get some stuff at the end of the year. And be honest, it's stuff they would have had anyway. Because who says no to their kids anymore? Yes, I know about 20. A bunch of you guys are going to tell me you say no to your kids, and I believe you. But overall, it's stuff that they would have had anyway. Now, I mean, parents are around it, of course. It wouldn't work. It only works when the parents are in on it. Manufacturers and retailers are in on it. Retailers discount everything so you can afford to have it all the stuff at once. Manufacturers make a bunch more of it because they know people are going to buy a bunch more. The news is in on it. Have you watched the news Christmas Eve? They do the Santa Watch thing on the weather reports, and they're watching Santa Claus come across the eastern seaboard. Who else is in on it? I'm in on it. I don't even have children. I don't even agree with the idea of telling people about Santa Claus, and I'm in on it because I'm not going to tell anybody's kids the secrets. I don't feel like it's my place. And I do buy people Christmas presents. I even give stuff to charity so random poor people can propagate the myth that there's a Santa Claus. And it's just kind of interesting how many moving parts have to be going to keep this thing. Everybody is doing it. Like, so many people are doing it. And what keeps the children interested? Well, every year, the thing that really sells it, every year they have, well, that never stays on. It's pretty good. Every year they have, you tell them if they're good, they get gifts. Well, every year you got to give them their gifts, and you give them their gifts, and it reinforces it every year. Right up to the point where they start to notice all the holes in it. But it's a pretty good conspiracy theory. It's a pretty good conspiracy. We do a pretty good job, all of us people. We even have movies about it. That's impressive. Anyway. So, I was thinking, what would make that carry on through adulthood? The reason, of course, that I don't believe in Santa Claus, the reason I wouldn't believe in Santa Claus, even if I did when I was a child, the reason most of the people, I'm assuming nobody who's watching this believes in Santa Claus, and the reason is there comes a point when you test it. There's you put something in the letter that your parents don't see, or you sneak something off, or you peek downstairs to see what I did. You peek downstairs to see what your parents are doing, or to see if you can catch Santa Claus in the act. Because there's a period of time when Santa Claus is there, he's physical, and you can see him. And if you can get to that point, then you can catch him or not catch him. And there's a payoff. If you get to the point where he's supposed to bring you a red fire engine, but you've told your parents that you want a blue truck, and you open everything up, and you don't have a red fire engine, you've got a blue truck, then you know who... there's certain points where you can test the theory. So if we were going to try to make something completely false that people believed all the way through adulthood, we'd have to get rid of the points where you can test it. That would be, of course, Christmas. Yeah. We're not getting rid of Christmas, of course, because we're not trying to believe in Santa Claus specifically. But what you have to do is you have to make the payoff something that they're not going to experience. Like a reward after death, for instance. I haven't talked to anybody who died recently. Told this basement is haunted, so there's a chance I might at some point. But if we're told the payoff for us being good our entire life happens after we die, there's no way for us to check. And if enough people are involved, either as dupes, willing participants anyway, for instance, I'm an atheist, but I don't care what anybody else believes. Government is perfectly willing to suspend their disbelief. You can keep that going forever without any point to check, without anything where you can say, well, this does or doesn't seem, there's no test point. There's no point in ever proving it wrong, really. All right. At this point, I'd have the intermission. I'm going to check the camera again here. Judging by that, my intermission is going to be a little bit into the second set. I might have to actually split this up and do two of them or something. Alright. For my second set of shots, since my layering didn't work, I'm not going to try to layer them again. I'm just going to... So you might be able to still see it's a little pink from the grenadine that was in it from trying to layer it. Little thing I didn't mention about martinis. A martini is gin. If you're having vodka, it's a vodka martini. You can shake a vodka martini because you won't bruise vodka. Like you can even, and if you're having a something teeny at a restaurant, that's not a martini. That's a mixed drink in a martini glass. I'm not saying it's not delicious. I'm not saying I won't order them. But they're not martinis. You should get yourself some UV whip. It's good with pretty much everything. It's a little sweet. After I get done with this, I'm going to be drinking some water so I don't get a hangover. Got on Coke. It's really good with lemonade. Let's see. Alright. Now, after the intermission, the next part is show and tell. Because the thing cut off last time, you didn't even know I had a show and tell. Because, it cut off in the middle. So the one I was telling you about, I made a mixed drink that had 2 different types of vodka. One of them was the marshmallow, the other one was, I put gummy, but I don't even think that's right. And then I put some whipped cream in it. The guy who showed me that, we had a party, and we often have a dress-up party. You know, I'm thinking all my parties are going to be costume parties. I don't see the point in not anymore. And he had the staff. I'm not going to give names because, well, 2 reasons. One, I'm very bad with names, so if I give one person's name and then I don't give the next guy's name when I'm talking to him, then people might realize I don't know everybody's name. Second, my parties aren't necessarily always the ones that everybody wants to admit they went to. So, there's that. Anyway, it's a really nice prop. He went as probably the classiest classiest zombie I've ever seen. It was not necessarily the best, but definitely the classiest. It was a witch doctor pimp zombie. Probably the zombie you would have expected that started the whole damn thing. I'm not going to be able to hold on to this long. I'm just going to want it back. But it's nice. Normally during the intermission, I would have checked to see if I missed anything I wanted to talk about, because I would have written something down at some point. Didn't do that this time because I was just upstairs and bored and said, I gotta talk about something. In the comments, if anybody's gonna comment on this one, give me an idea what you want me to rant about next time. If you have a drink you want me to try or a liquor you want me to get, put it in the thing. Eventually I'm going to start getting some guest hosts just to